Welcome to MGB227 Entrepreneurship. Cannot wait to meet you all. Cannot wait. This is the fourth time the unit's run, and every time we've done something a little bit different. We're trying to respond, I suppose, in ways that makes the unit easier to comprehend. Not easier to do, easier to comprehend. The unit is hard to do. It's designed to be hard to do because it's based on a model of transformational learning. So that's pretty tough in one sense, that I'm starting from a perspective that, one, you might want to be transformed, that you are willing to participate in the process, and that you are okay with the trade-offs that would be associated with this process. So I'm hoping that you'll come along with an open mind and that you'll let me present the nature of the unit to you in a way that you can digest in terms of your own individual approach to learning. For some of you, you've been waiting for this unit for several years. You've been like, wow, this is great. I'm going to get to learn about me and my ability to be entrepreneurial. For others of you, you're going to say, you're really messing with my mind. I'm really annoyed. Why am I paying money to do a unit where you're not giving me a lot of content from books and you're just asking me to go off and do something? Keep an open mind. Keep an open mind. There's no experiment here. This is a process of contemporary entrepreneurship education. It's not business education. It exists in an environment of business education, but many of you are coming from engineering, you're coming from law, you're coming from a whole range of different faculties, all right? So it doesn't have to be just a business education context that we're talking about here, because as students, you come from everywhere, and you're going on to a whole range of different places that aren't just business education. So keep an open mind, all right? We're going to do to learn, not learn to do, all right? That's our challenge. I'm going to give you so much freedom about what it is you do, all right, that you can't complain that you've been told you have to do this, okay? I've got a process I want you to follow, but where you take that process is entirely up to you, okay? So you've got to trust the process for a start, because I'm only assessing the process, okay? So like other units you've been in, maybe they say we want you to produce an outcome, an assignment, a piece of work, and we're going to assess that against a standard, against everyone else's work. I'm just assessing your progress through the process and your ability to understand the process. There's a lot of trade-offs in the unit. It's really important that you view them in the first instance positively, okay? Otherwise they're just going to stay negative, all right? If you say, why have we got to come into class on a Saturday? Oh, that's ridiculous. Why would I want to come into class on a Saturday? Well, the vast majority of you are going to enjoy it because, one, we're going to have fun. Two, it's only the first Saturday that's the whole Saturday, 9 o'clock to about 4 o'clock. The other two Saturdays are short and sharp. They're just the Saturday mornings, okay? And if you're in a situation where you have to work, you've got no choice. It's the only day of the week that you work. You can't move your shifts around. You've got a sporting event that you're already committed to. You've got a wedding that you've got to go to. That's my phone number. You only got to call me, text me, send me an email, and we'll sort it out, okay? I'm very accommodating. I'm not particularly accommodating if you don't have the courtesy of even contacting me, all right? Because we only have 3 contact sessions for the whole unit, so it's important that you come to these sessions. And they're designed to help you to develop to be something really neat, something that's valuable, and it's not a commodity in this world we live in, all right? An entrepreneurial thinker. It's not an easy thing to do, but that's the way the workshops are designed. So if you're in a situation where you can't get to one of those workshops, all of those workshops, contact me now. Talk to me about it now and we will sort something out. I run a catch-up class on the following Monday after each of the Saturdays. It's from 9 to 11, so it's not the entire workshop repeated, but it's sufficient to catch you up and make sure that you can keep moving forward, okay? But you can't just come along to it. You need to contact me and you need to explain what's actually happening, and then we can agree on what's going to happen in that space. Okay? But don't get to the end of the semester and say, you forced me to come to class. No one's forcing you to do anything. If you've got a legitimate reason for why you should be at work, why you should be at another commitment, contact me and let's have that chat. It won't be a problem, okay? Bring $1 to the first class. There's 350 of you. There'll be about 320, I suspect, of you who'll come to that first class. That means that somebody within 5 minutes of the class starting is going to get 320 bucks in a bucket that they can take home, okay? I also want you to bring along 4 words that best describe you, all right? So you can think about this yourself, but you could also go off and ask your family and friends, your work colleagues, what are the 4 words do you think that best describe me? And you could reflect on their summation of this. Maybe you disagree, and that's fine, all right? Just bring along 4 words that you think best describe you, all right? Now there's going to be a series of learning guides that are going to be used throughout the semester to help you, all right? Because it's not like we're face-to-face every week. So it's important that rather than saying, oh, I've got a clue what's going on here, that you use Blackboard and that you look at the learning guides that are being put there for you. They're not all there just yet, but they will be as we're going through. When you need them, they'll be there, okay? We start the class 2 days before we first meet with an online test. It's not a complicated test, all right? So I want to stress this point. I'm not giving you everything you need to know in order to do that test, because I only want you to know essentially how would you define the 20 concepts that I want you to have a working knowledge of, not an expertise. You have the expertise by the end of the semester. But when we come into class, I want you to have a working knowledge so that you can contribute straight away in the workshop, all right? So we have a pre-test. All the material you need for the pre-test is online. There's a book chapter that I've written that covers this in terms of writing about them. And there's a video, all right, which explains the logic of all of these things. It's a multiple choice test. I'm not trying to trick anybody. All I'm trying to do is say, you know what, I want you to turn up at the first workshop prepared. Now, if you don't want to prepare and you want to chuck away 20 marks, that's your decision. It's not a problem. That's your decision. Well, what I'm saying to you is if you do the work to prepare, not only will you pick up a good grade, but you'll actually enjoy the first workshop much more because you'll understand the lingo, the language, the processes that we're actually engaging with, okay? So you can start that process now, all right? It's online for you on Blackboard. It's very simple process. I even name all of the 20 concepts that you're going to be tested on, and you're just going to get a random multiple choice question that relates to each one of those, and you have 30 minutes to do your test, all right? It'll happen on the 16th of August. That's a Thursday before the first class, and so that's any time from 1 minute past midnight through to 11:59. As long as you've started that test, you'll be fine. Do pay attention to the task instructions on Blackboard, because a lot of times people do have problems with technology, or they'll forget. You'll get heaps of emails from me telling you it's the test's coming up, and on the day of the test you get emails from me saying there's 6 hours to go, there's 5 hours to go, there's 4 hours to go. If you come back the next day and you say, oh, I wasn't aware it was on, it ain't gonna work, okay? Because you've already had 20 emails telling you that it is on, okay? So very important that you manage that process for yourself. If there's an issue, if something's happening, like you've got to have an operation on that Thursday and you're not going to be around, contact me, okay? Phone number, it's not a problem. Let's just have a conversation. It won't be an issue if I know about it in advance. Much, much harder to deal with after, when we've got to try and work through excuses. And I'm not interested in excuses, guys, all right? I'll treat you with 100% respect, and all I ask is that you're honest back to me, and then no matter what's happened, we will work it out, all right? But we don't need to play silly games, yeah? Okay, I think that's pretty much it. Open mind. I want you to be uncomfortable, because the key element to transformational learning is that something is not working for you. Something is uncomfortable. Something is different. Something is making you question yourself as a learner, all right? And so I've got to take you into that space before we can start the process, okay? It's a very safe space, all right? This whole process is designed. It's something I've been doing for 20 years with students all around the world. So it's not like I'm experimenting on you guys. And I know many of you will be uncomfortable. You will question the process. You will question whether this is required because you'll be making comparisons to what you're used to, okay? And we can talk about that in our first workshop, all right? I can't wait to meet you all. We are going to have fun, but I can't guarantee the fun. You actually have to bring along that open mind. Think about the trade-offs, all right? If you're with me on a Saturday, that means you're not with me on Monday to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday or Friday. That means you've got more time to work during the week. That means you've got more time to commit to any subject that you might be really struggling with in your other courses, okay? It's trade-offs, all right? A lot of people, once they get their head around the structure of the unit, realise, actually, this is not too bad, all right? But the onus is on you, all right? We're not just going to sit in a class and ask you to hand in an assignment. It's you to go off and do some stuff, all right? But we'll explain all of that as we go through. Cheerio. For now, if you've got a problem, that's my number. You can contact me, you can text me, call me, you can email me. We can talk at any stage you want. Keep an eye out. I'll have some Zoom sessions that will be online for people just to drop in and have a chat if they're unsure about things. We're also going to have a catch-up in week 2. Unfortunately, the university system doesn't enable me to book a physical room until we get to week 1. So I'm just having to wait until they actually tell us what the room is. But it'll be either Tuesday morning or Wednesday afternoon. So if you'd like to come along and just talk in general terms about how the unit's going to run, then you're more than welcome to come along. It's optional. You don't have to. It's more of just a heads up to get your head around things if you're really already feeling a bit like what's happening here. This seems a bit different than everything else I'm doing. All the best. Can't wait to meet you all.